Hello, this is rounding specifically created for Google so that students can be successful at home or do it as a station at school. I created these for my fourth graders this year to help them with rounding, and the slides are super interactive. There's lots of different types of rounding that they do. Also, every single category has a video that the students can watch that will show them a few of the questions to really get them started and see how to do it. So in all, we have 50 slides. They're all highly interactive, and I'm going to go through the different categories. First, we have benchmark questions, and there's a video here that will help the students so they can watch that, and then they can just jump right in. This encourages the students to look at the benchmarks to prepare them for rounding. So this asks what hundreds it's between, and they would look at the hundreds timeline, and in this case, it's between 600 and 700. So then they would put these little donuts just to show the benchmarks, and that's it. So there are 5 of these just to help the students. So this one's between 4,000 and 5,000, and they can watch the video to see how to do it. Our next category is rounding with a number line. This is the full-on comprehensive rounding that really helps students get a conceptual idea of rounding, but it is still highly scaffolded. So first, they need to circle the place they're rounding to. Then they need to underline the power number. Then they need to write in the benchmarks and the halfway point. So in this case, the lower benchmark is 180,000. The upper benchmark is 190,000. And the halfway point would always go one past, and then the next place value over, in this case, the thousands would have that 5 in it. So in this case, 185,000. The halfway point. Then they need to plot it on the number line. So if we're rounding to the nearest 10,000, we use the thousands to jump on the number line. So 181,000, 182,000, 183,000, they would grab the zebra and put it where the number falls just based on that digit here. And then they would decide if they're rounding up to this or down to this. In this case, we're right in the middle, so we would round up. They grab this, pull it over, and then they would type their answer in the box. So there are 10 questions like this that really have the students go through it step by step to get that conceptual understanding and that visual of the number line, which is really great. Then we do rounding with the shortcut. So this is your quick rounding. We've got 5 or more, let it soar, 4 or less, let it rest. They are going to circle the place they're rounding to. They'll drag this to underline the next door neighbor, or the power number as I call it. Decide if they're rounding up or down, and write their answer in the box. So this one really is still step by step, but it is the quicker way of doing things. And then they would write their answer here. There are 10 of these, and you can mix and match these, copy, paste, delete, and create assignments for your students based on your needs. Then we have rounding chart questions. I created these because I saw them on some park released items, and I wanted to keep that in mind so that they're exposed to some different ways of thinking about rounding. This one says, decide if each numbers have been rounded to the nearest 100, 10,000, or 10, and then they would move these sunglasses to show. So this one was rounded to the nearest 10, whereas this one was rounded to the nearest 10,000, and they would move the glasses. And again, there's a video to show the students how to do these questions. We have 5 of these. Then we have a rounding create the number, which just has them round, but then they create the number themselves. So in this case, rounding this number to the nearest 1,000 would become 46,000, and they would just drag and drop and create the number. So these are just a little different way of showing their thinking. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. Last but not least, we have a rounding fill in the box, where they're going to look at a number and figure out what it was rounded to. So similar to those chart questions, was this rounded to the nearest, million, 100,000, etc. And they would just put their answer in the box, just like that. And we have 10 of these. So all in all, we have 50 slides to work with here. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different categories of rounding, and each one comes with a video tutorial. So there are 6 video tutorials and 44 student work pages that you can swap around, mix and match, or just insert into your remote work, station work, or in-person learning. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a great day.